A live report from KARK4 and Fox 16 will begin momentarily.
This is a winter weather alert from the Arkansas Storm Team.
And good morning to you. I'm Mitch McCoy here in Studio B, 822. You're looking at a live RDOT camera here where conditions continue to worsen across central Arkansas, have been throughout the morning. We just got word Interstate 30 in Saline County near Bryant, westbound lanes, a semi-truck is jackknifed. So conditions continue to be problematic for Arkansas roadways this morning, and that will likely continue as the morning really progresses here as we continue to see that freezing rain, sleet, at times snow across parts of central Arkansas. Good morning to you. I'm Mitch McCoy, joined in here, Hunter Hoagland. Hunter, you've been watching a lot of this all morning. Just interested in hearing your perspective as we're also looking at the Simmons Bank Tower camera this morning.
Mitch, what a morning to work from home, let me tell you. On the way in, I was slipping and sliding all over the road, so I can't imagine what people out there are going through today as they are trying to make their commute in. But what we're seeing there on the interstate, that is something that we have been seeing all morning long now, but as you said, progressively getting worse by the hour.
Very, very true, as we see a lot of that freezing rain and sleet across some of the roadways. This is the Simmons Bank Tower camera.
Look at that image.
Yeah.
Oh. That is a cold one out there.
You know, this one just seems a lot different. I'm interested in getting Claire Kreit's perspective on all of this because, you know, we dealt with snow before. There's no question about it. We've dealt with that snow before. We've dealt with a lot of snow at times, and this one just seems different. And that's likely because we have that ice type of situation here. And I want to bring in our Claire Kreitz. She has been on roadways across Arkansas all morning long. Claire, really interested in hearing your take on what's been happening across some of these roadways this morning. What are conditions like where you are? You're along Interstate 630.
Yeah, you know, conditions are rough. I'm going to actually flip this camera around if I can do it wearing gloves. Let me see. There we go. Just so you can get a close-up view. I mean, it is slushy. It is icy. It is absolutely a mess. Not many cars braving these conditions. And I think that's a good thing. We have seen city plows and RDOT plows trying to clear some of these. But I mean, even here on the interstate, it's still so messy. And again, it's all ice. I'm gonna get a handful right here I can barely even grab one. Just to show you, that's not snow. That is all ice from that sleet, and it just continues to come down here.
Wow. Claire, you know, you've been with us all morning long here on the morning show. When we took you live all throughout the show, Hillary and I had made the comment, we were seeing drivers there. They were driving pretty close to one another. What are you seeing from drivers out there on the interstate right now?
Yeah, there were times, I mean, heavy traffic area, like time periods where drivers were getting very close to each other, sometimes going faster than I would have gone. We're advising people to really be slow out here right now. Not that many drivers, but I want to see if you can see this, if I can zoom in. I don't know if I'll be able to, but there are some tire marks just as this off-ramp starts where you can see where a driver did slip off right before one of our live shots. So it is slick and people are having some issues here.
Claire, when you're talking about some of these drivers who are having issues, are you seeing that they can almost regain control? They can get themselves out of really the situation that they were found in? Or do they need a tow truck?
So he was, no. So he was able to back up and come back down the road on the off ramp. You can see this car is driving very slow, trying to not get stuck. But so far we haven't seen anybody get stuck. We've just seen people slipping and sliding, and then usually they're able to get back to moving.
Well, and the problem with that, Hunter, is you want to take it slow, right? But then if you don't have enough traction, you do get stuck.
Exactly.
And you kind of get yourself caught into a situation likely that person did today or this morning. So, Claire, have you seen a lot of snow trucks or plow trucks?
Yeah, we've seen both RDOT and city plow trucks. RDOT obviously on the highways, on the interstates, and then we're right by the American Legion. So we have seen some coming down the city streets from the city of Little Rock. We've seen some just trucks with plows on the front of their trucks. Basic pickup trucks with plows. I think everybody's trying to do their part right now.
And Claire, you were with us super early this morning, joining us live, starting at 4 o'clock there on the morning show. And I remember your photojournalist, TJ Staten, he said when it was sleeting and it was hitting his face, he was like, it feels like little rocks just hitting your face all at the same time. What have you guys experienced out there this morning?
Oh my gosh, it's painful. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to bring out the umbrella to shield my face from some of this sleet because it's coming down and it's coming down hard. You might not be able to tell, but it hurts. And so I tried to bring out the umbrella and the wind was blowing and it blew it inside out. So that's kind of something that we've experienced. You can see that car just slid.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Live.
Yes, just slid. They're trying to regain control.
So this is actually
here.
A very dangerous situation because you have people who might actually be trying to slow down there, and see right there, and that is a prime example of why RDOT is asking people to stay off the roads.
Absolutely, and you can see those cars were doing their best, those cars behind, to stay far behind, and that's why, because cars can spin out like that at any moment. They were able to regain control and turn it around, but yeah, I mean, almost the opposite way on the interstate right there.
All right, Claire Kreitz for us this morning. Hunter, that was really a scary situation because that's what a lot of people are facing today, and they're facing these moments where they slide and other people try to slow down. They try not to crash into one another, and then all of a sudden you have that scenario where you could have even multiple vehicles involved in that wreck.
And again, everyone's guilty of saying, oh, I can drive in this, right? It's just a little bit of ice, a little bit of snow, but ice changes everything. Even just a quarter of an inch out there, which is kind of what we're seeing right there across the interstate, that changes everything when you're out there on the roads.
Yeah, it does. And snow is one thing. And being from Michigan, you being from Colorado, you know that. Ice is a completely different animal. Ice is just something that no matter how experienced you are in driving in wintry conditions, ice is different. It's a different beast.
And we had talked to RDOT earlier on the morning show, and they said while this sleet is providing a little bit of grit out there, there's really not much they can do with this ice. So you've got to take out slow out there, and better yet, just listen to their warning of stay home. If you don't have to get out, don't go out. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. As we're taking a live look here, this is up in northwest Arkansas. RDOT first responders just a few moments ago clearing a wreck that had multiple vehicles involved. This is I-49 near Springdale, and there were numerous vehicles involved in a wreck. Hunter, I'll be honest, there have been quite a few wrecks up in northwest Arkansas. There have been some wrecks down in eastern Arkansas, Forest City, Brinkley, that area. Central Arkansas is shaped up pretty well.
It has.
Outside of that jackknife semi in Bryant this morning.
Yeah, we had talked to Dave Parker with RDOT earlier this morning, and he said he was surprised as well. In and around the metro area, not too much to report. So good news there. But again, different story when you look outside of Central Arkansas. It seems like there are more accidents happening on roads that weren't able to be treated maybe beforehand, or just others that haven't seen that kind of traction to melt some of this off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one other thing that I want to bring up here, and that's going to be our another RDOT camera, and this is actually going to be right here in the metro. This is going to be right at the interchange, and as soon as I'm able to bring it up here, everybody will know exactly where it's at. There's downtown Little Rock right there, and I think why things have looked so good, if we could use that word, here in Central Arkansas, is the fact that we are not seeing a lot of people on the road. This has turned out to be an event where RDOT can get its crews out. They can do their job. They can clear these roads as quickly as they can, and that's probably why we're not seeing as many accidents. But as we saw right in the middle of Claire's live hit, things can get very tricky very quickly.
And that was RDOT's too, their biggest point. They need room for emergency crews to get to and from where they're going. They're not immune to this out there, right? They have just as hard of a time getting to where they need to go with this ice. So glad to see that people are staying off those roads out there. Entergy as well, they joined us on the morning show and they said their linemen and their power crews, they need to be able to get out on the roads in order to restore some of that power.
Yeah, and speaking of power, you know, that is something that we are closely watching really throughout the last 24 hours. 24,000, I think we're now at, which actually is down just slightly, which is actually great news. 24,000, it was just a couple of minutes ago. Well, and I take that back. We're back now at 25,689, and that was updated here in real time. Hunter, you've actually been watching this progress throughout the morning. What was it, 10,000 at one point?
Yeah, fascinating to watch it change throughout the morning. When we got into work at about 3 a.m., I think we were hovering right at around 8,000. By the time we hopped on air live on TV, I think it was about 10,000. And then at one point just doubled from about 10 to 20 there within a 30-minute span. So again, rapidly developing, and it seems like as the morning progresses, we are seeing more and more of these power outages across the state.
Which is very concerning, and I want to draw people's attention to Poinsett County, because Poinsett County was a county that had quite a few power outages going into the morning, and they were standing at a solid 1,500 customers without power. And you can just see here now looking at 7,481 completely without power this morning. And a lot of those people may be people who were even without power last night. So, I mean, it could be getting very cold for them as well. Looking at another camera here, and this is going to be one of our RDOT cameras. You see, this is probably northwest Arkansas. I think that's the bridge. If you're traveling up and you're heading to a Razorbacks game. Unbelievable.
I was just on that this weekend, and I can tell you, beautiful weekend. We were all surprised. It was 60-degree weather, you know, blue skies, sunshine, and then to see that image there, it's fascinating how things have changed just this week.
Yeah, things are changing very rapidly. That was one of the RDOT cameras that as they were monitoring the situation, and as we're looking, I want to give you a perspective to how we're monitoring some of these traffic conditions across the area, and a lot of this comes from RDOT, and you can see you know, incidents pop up, and we're able to see things that are happening in real time. We already checked this area. There's no cameras there to give us a perspective on what's happening, but nonetheless, things are slow moving across the metro. And Hunter, this is going to be Mountain Home. And you can see there the very snowy conditions that are up there in that area. Obviously, snow crews that are also working. Want to bring us over to one of this iDrive camera. The iDrive camera here was just moving around. I don't know if they were trying to find something, if something just happened. We'll keep an eye on that. But Hunter, in terms of power outages, I'm interested in hearing just your perspective from the RDOT crews, or excuse me, the Entergy crews, because you talked with them live this morning. You know, I know last night they were talking about this being a widespread power outage event. You know, it could be several days before things are completely restored. Was that still the case this morning? Were they still saying that this was going to be a widespread power outage event?
Yeah, and unfortunately that is kind of the harsh reality that a lot of Arkansans are going to be dealing with the rest of the day. At the time we interviewed her, I believe it was around 5:40. Entergy alone was dealing with around 8,000 power outages. Last I checked, it's up to 15,000. And Brandy Hinkle, who is her spokesperson, she said she believes that number to keep climbing throughout the rest of the day. But yeah, a scary situation is it's going to take possibly days for some of those people's power to come back on, but they're asking everyone to just be patient. They know that the power is out and they are working their very best to get it back on.
As we're taking a live look here at the Simmons Bank camera, and you can really get that perspective to what Arkansans are dealing with. Freezing rain, sleet. This is across all of our roadways right now. And RDOT earlier this week had asked that everybody stay off the road so that way they can do their job. And it would appear that message has been heard loud and clear from crews, or at least people here. Not a lot of accidents have been reported in the central Arkansas area. Certainly we hope it remains that way, because this is really going to give crews that upper hand perspective, or an upper hand really, on trying to get all of this taken care of, and to try and clear all of this as quickly as possible as we continue to monitor a lot of areas across central Arkansas. Again, that iDrive camera, this is going to be Interstate 40 right here in the metro. So, you know, Hunter, some people messaging us right now on Facebook, and they said, well, are roads bad on Camp Robinson in North Little Rock? I think it's fair to say that if you live in the state of Arkansas, these roads are going to be, these roads are bad, and they're icy, and you need to stay off them.
That's the thing too, a lot of these images, it kind of looks like snow at first glance. And again, I know a lot of people think it's just snow, it's going to be a little gritty, provide some traction for your tires. But it feels like a sheet of ice on parts of that. It is that 1-2 punch there. You had that sleet at first, now we're seeing freezing rain, and it is so hard to drive on. And that is a common sight that we are just seeing on streets, on interstates across central Arkansas right now.
So here's an interesting perspective. Candace just posted a comment on Facebook. She said, I just drove from Hot Springs to CHI in Little Rock. Roads are not bad yet, but we took it slow. You know, I'm not gonna disagree with her, but that is really hard to imagine. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's a million different things that go into that, whether it be, do you have four-wheel drive? Do you not? Were you on main roads? Were you not? You know, you have four-wheel drive. What did you think, at least this morning when you came in?
So I was just downtown, and I mean, I had a difficult time getting in. A couple mile drive. I was sliding all over. So, I mean, that's amazing that she didn't think it was a bad commute into the Little Rock area. But again, perspective is everything out there. And I'd hate for someone to think that, oh, the roads aren't that bad, let's try it. Again, if you can stay home, stay home. It's a great day to work from home. Because we have seen just in around our Victory building here at KARK, people sliding all over. I saw it coming into work at 4 o'clock, and it has only gotten worse since then.
Sarah saying, if you have to stop quickly, you will slide. Sarah, I think you are absolutely right. That is the case. You will slide, and you just don't. If you can avoid being out in this, just avoid it. If you don't have to drive, don't. This is just not worth your life, and you know, I say that you know, very seriously, because at this point, with this still going on, with there still being freezing rain, with there still being sleet across the area, a lot of people are going to be faced with having to drive, maybe depending on the situation, and if you don't have to risk it, just don't.
Right. And there will be, you know, a lot of people who do have to get out and they do have to go to work, but officials reminding everybody, pack some kind of safety kit, right? Whether that be blankets or extra layers, something to keep you warm in case you do get stranded, because it is brutal out there, and those temperatures, it seems like they just keep getting colder throughout the morning. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And if you're just joining us, Hunter Hoagland, Mitch McCoy here, looking now at one of our another iDrive camera. This is going to be the Arkansas River Bridge, which was actually a topic of conversation yesterday during one of our morning editorial calls, because we were asking, how is RDOT going to be able to manage this? You have a construction zone, A. You also have a bridge, which we all know will ice over first, but there hasn't, at least that I'm aware of, been any major incidents on this bridge this morning.
Which is obviously good news there. RDOT, they have been planning for this since about Sunday. They've been trying to put down as much rock salt as possible. But the interesting thing here that Pat Walker brought up on the morning show was that a lot of that rock salt can actually melt off, wash away with the freezing rain and with the sleet, because it's washing it all away before the snow can get here. So it's not providing a whole lot of help when it comes to the road conditions.
It's just making it worse. You're looking at the latest weather data coming in right now. You see Little Rock sitting, hovering 31, 32 degrees. That seems to be the favorite number around central Arkansas this morning. And you see that freezing rain and sleet coming in. And Hunter, looking at this, it just doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon, which is why so many people are turning to the Arkansas Storm Team for updates.
Yeah, super important there, and they are working nonstop. All of our meteorologists doing a fabulous job keeping everybody updated. So as soon as we hop off the air, make sure to stick with our Storm Team app. It's super easy to download, free for Apple, Android users. Anyone can get it, but a good resource there throughout the day.
Yeah, a fantastic resource to stay in the know. It's also worth knowing that and remembering that we have various tools to keep you connected during the winter weather event. And as Hunter mentioned, staying with the meteorologist, and a lot of that is downloading the Arkansas Storm Team app on your phone, especially as the storm continues to wreak havoc on Arkansas. Just because you have power now does not mean that you will have power in a couple hours. So make sure your phones stay charged. If you download the Storm Team app, you can also stay connected with us. We will send mobile alerts directly to your smartphone, which in a situation like this can be life-saving. It can be critical information that we can put directly in the palm of your hand when you need it the most. So make sure you stay with us and the Arkansas Storm Team and everyone here as we continue to monitor this winter weather event. And Hunter, I know that you're going to be working really for a few more hours here, because you've been working already a lot today. Interested in hearing tomorrow morning on KARK4 Today what you guys are going to be looking at in terms of covering this. I know that you were talking with a lot of Entergy crews and RDOT crews this morning. I know that you guys will have us covered tomorrow morning as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as Entergy is doing it, RDOT's doing it. We too are just taking it hour by hour, so there's no telling what our news of the day is going to be tomorrow. But we are going to keep you covered. Next newscast is at 12. Yep. We're going to have reporters out there on the roads, as well as 4, 5, 6, and then our Fox newscasts later on. But yeah, a lot of news to cover, and just unbelievable conditions that we're seeing out there. Claire Kreitz, too, will be live for us again tomorrow morning starting at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Wow, 4 a.m.
4 a.m. We are on the airwaves. Yeah.
Well,
dark and early.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll have continuing coverage on this. As Hunter mentioned, our next newscast is going to be coming up on KARK4, coming up at 12 p.m. KARK4 News at 4 will have you covered, along with Fox 16 News at 5:30 as well. Be sure to stay safe out there. Continuing coverage throughout the day right here on KARK4 and Fox 16. We will see you later today. For Hunter Hoagland, I'm Mitch McCoy. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe.